Well, you know when you need to change your oil, but what about the other fluids in your car? Turns out a lot of drivers don't even know what those fluids are, let alone when to change them. That's why Lynn got some tips from our auto answer man. Whew, say that 5 times fast. Brian Bowersock.
To keep your car in good running shape, you need more than just changing your oil. And for many of us, though, getting underneath the hood is pretty intimidating. So what we did is we brought in our car guy. This is Brian Bowersock. He is with West Escondido Transmission and Auto. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
We appreciate you coming by. And go ahead, help us out. For many of us, we don't even know where to find the fluids. We're talking fluids today.
Absolutely. This morning we're going to talk about 4 different fluids. Automatic transmission fluid, coolant for the cooling system, brake fluid, and power steering fluid. And how these fluids affect your vehicle, they're the most forgot about fluids. Normally people will change their engine oil on a regular basis, but don't ever think twice about these other fluids. So we're going to go over this morning.
Okay.
Number 1, we're going to look at where the transmission fluid is. And on this car, it's kind of hidden down here in the back.
Yeah, that's tough to
You
find.
can see, correct, and it's starting to discolor.
Not looking so good. We got a good example here for you
We got
today.
a good example today, that's for sure.
Okay, so that's the transmission.
That's the transmission. Then we have the cooling system, which obviously runs the coolant, up here in the front. By the way, a note for viewers, don't ever take this cap off when the vehicle's hot.
Okay,
It
is
can
that
be
sizzling?
Dangerous. Yeah, you can get burned for sure. Then we have the power steering fluid, which is over here, which is also low and quite dark on this vehicle. And we have the brake fluid. And those are the 4 fluids we're going to talk about this morning and how the systems obviously can be affected by not servicing the fluids.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some that haven't been serviced so people have an idea of what we're talking about here.
Absolutely.
These look pretty ugly.
Yes, they do. This is transmission fluid, actually. And on this side, we have transmission fluid that's extremely dirty, that's never been changed in a vehicle, probably over 30,000 miles on the fluid.
Okay.
We have fluid here that's been through a regular service where they actually just drop the pan and replace the filter and fluid. And this is after a service is done and a flush of the entire system. And the fluid is quite clean, as you can see, once it's flushed out.
Yeah, a huge difference.
Big difference.
Now tell me this, does it make a difference if you just service it and just add more to it and drain it, or is flushing really something that you need to do?
Flushing is something that you need to do if the fluid has gotten dark on it and it's been neglected and not serviced on a regular basis, 12 to 15,000 miles. Flushing gets all the contaminated fluid out of it. When you do a service, it just gets a portion of the fluid out of it.
Okay.
So you need to replace the filter and then flush it if you have a really dirty system.
Okay, and then keep that on a pretty regular schedule, you were saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, next up, what do we have here?
We have the coolant here. I'm sorry, power steering fluid. Grabbed the wrong one. This is actually clean power steering fluid. And this is what most people's power steering fluid looks like because it's usually neglected. This is one of the most neglected fluids on a car, never serviced. People don't worry so much about it. This is why you get vehicles that actually have power steering noises or power steering rack failures, power steering pump failures. By flushing it out, you revitalize the seals. The additive helps keep the seals soft so that you don't have a leaking system, and all the other components inside. It's a lubrication for the power steering system. It's very important.
And you said when that goes down, it can be pretty expensive.
It can be pretty expensive depending on what component in the vehicle fails.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at our last one here.
Our very last one here is coolant. We have the 3 different types of coolant here. This coolant is actually clean, brand new, and dirty coolant, which you'll find in most people's car. It's been in over a year. And then this is extremely contaminated coolant that's probably never been changed out of a vehicle. Once again, a vehicle over 30,000 miles that's never been serviced.
Now, a lot of people here in San Diego say, hey, we don't have extremely cold weather. Maybe it gets a little hot. Is it really that important?
Coolant and antifreeze are kind of the same. I agree with you. You know, antifreeze is more important if you're in a colder climate. But coolant also helps cool an engine better than straight water does. And besides that, straight water doesn't have any additives in it to help the seals that are in the water pump and things like that and prevent leaks. And also you get rust in the system and you end up with other bigger issues if you don't keep coolant.
Okay, real fast, we're going to put up on the screen some of the benefits, again, to making sure that you flush out these systems. Go over those for us, if you don't mind.
A couple of the benefits are obviously component failure. You can prevent that. Prevent noises from the vehicle as far as when power steering pumps and things like that start to fail. You can even increase gas mileage on a car. It's a small amount, but when you have old fluids, there's friction in there. When you have new fluids and everything's clean, everything works a lot better and softer and stays together.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. All great information. Thanks for making it also safe for us to go back under the hood. We appreciate that.
Not a problem at all. Thank you.
If you'd like more information, just log on to our website at foxdix.com.